From AIT Studios in Abuja, Nigeria, this is the O&M Late Show with Obiora Ilo and Mamode Akuga.
Hello and welcome. My name is Mamode Akuga, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to tonight's edition of the O&M Late Show. Tonight, we're going to be taking a look at issues that affect the Nigerian consumer. And I mean, that's me and you. The products that are out there in the market, how the people that, of course, bring this product to us, and that's talking also about goods and services. How is the Nigerian consumer treated? The health of the Nigerian consumer, is it taken into cognizance at all? Well, the Nigerian government would like to think so. I mean, with agencies like NAFDAC and, of course, one of those new agencies that have become very, very important in our day-to-day living, the National Biosafety Management Agency, very important agency in 2016, 2017. Moving forward, of course, there are a lot of health issues raised with so many products. But let me also let you know that my tag team partner, Obiora Ilo, is in the studios with me tonight.
Hello and welcome to your show, our show, the O&M Late Show. Yes, Momode was just talking about food. How about consumer satisfaction? Is your telecom company satisfying you? Is your cable provider satisfying you? If they are not satisfying us, is there anybody checking them? Is there anybody asking them questions? Then, of course, the big one, the GMO foods. Yes. Well, the Biosafety Management Agency, we remember, gave some ultimatum some time ago.
That was in October
of last year. Yes. Asking supermarkets and stores and shops to rid their shelves of GMO products.
Exactly.
And that is the big worry, because today the O&M team went from one shop to another, the biggest shops in Abuja, and we discovered that the GMO products are still on the shelves.
They're still on the shelves.
And Nigerians are buying them not knowing. And you hear the argument every day on social media. You remember the one they called plastic rice?
Yes.
And all that. And they didn't know that they are bothering about what they had not seen.
Meanwhile,
what they consume every day is illegal.
Yes.
Is illegal.
And these issues really, there's so much concern globally about, GMO, and the debate is ongoing. There are people who say, of course, it is very safe. There are those who say, no, wait a minute. You're tampering with these, crops, the way God designed them. Some also say, look, it's some kind of economic colonization of developing countries, if you like. All sorts of theories have been thrown around, and the debate is ongoing. But facts state very clearly. For instance, if you go back about 20 years before now, when the United States of America was embracing the GMO products, Europe did not. And the statistics today show that there is no visible difference in the yields of crops as against Europe that is still planting regular method of planting crops.
Mama, actually, the worry is that for Nigeria, our regulatory agencies are saying we're not ready yet. We don't want them on our shelves, and these products are on our shelves. So is someone not doing their job?
Yes.
Has someone broken the law? These are the things we need.
And if someone has broken the law,
will the law take its course?
Will the law take its course?
And we went further when our team went to some of these shops. We also discovered that a lot of products are in the market. They're not certified by NAFDAC.
Yes.
Neither are they certified by the SON and other regulatory agencies. You see them without any certification.
Yes, and they're right there.
Not big shops, the bourgeois shops where when you buy something there, you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
You know. So tonight, we're going to talk about the infiltration of these goods into our markets, the laws that have been broken, the what we may call the lack of enforcement.
Yes.
By some of these regulatory agencies. But before we even go on, we extended an invitation to the Consumer Protection Council about a week ago. They demanded a letter. We sent the letter a couple of days ago, and we got no reply. What it means is that they're not on the program tonight. Yeah, yes. Because we wanted them to be here and tell Nigerians what their job is, what they are doing to protect Nigerian consumers. So tonight,
but we do have
yes,
the Director General of the National Biosafety Management Agency, Dr. RUFUS EBEGBA, who is in the studios with us, will be joining us today to tell us what happened exactly to that ultimatum that they gave to the supermarket
and whether they prosecuted some people.
That was well reported in the Nigerian media.
Yeah. And how many people that prosecuted?
Exactly.
I mean, because we saw these products, and we'll be showing you some of the products.
Yes.
In the course of this program.
Yeah.
We also have FRNK TIETIE. Yeah. FRNK TIETIE is Executive Director at Citizen Advocacy for Social Economic Rights. But that's not just why he's here. His center has embarked on another war against consumer abuse in Nigeria. His team and TIETIE are saying that these businesses and then the regulatory agencies can't get away without doing their jobs. And so they've been fighting.
They want to ensure that they make those agencies do their job.
And then the entities that are involved in some of these under the table behavior should be brought to book.
And very quickly, Obiora, I think we should let our viewers know that this is definitely going to be part one on this consumer protection series that we're going to be doing because there are so many issues. For instance, the issue of toll-free numbers for people who offer services. You want to buy a ticket, a plane ticket, you want to buy, for instance, from RFRNK. You call them, they keep you online for another 10 minutes. When they come on, and for that 10 minutes, they're advertising to you that you can buy their ticket
against your will.
And you are paying for it.
Paying for it.
You call multi-choice, that's DSTV. You want to pay for subscription.
They keep you on the line.
They keep you on the line. These companies need to have toll-free lines. They need to pay when I want to make business with them. And so a whole set of programs we are going to be focusing on.
And now that you talked about RFRNK, I have 2 tickets from RFRNK.
Yes.
They canceled the flights. As well. They canceled the flights like 2-3 months ago. And they say I should fill a form. I fill a form and give the form to RFRNK. And I've not got a refund.
It takes forever to get the refund.
And you know the bad thing? I'm regular on the Enugu-Abuja route. RFRNK in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks are not on that. They are not on the route. And there's no way I'm going to use the ticket and I can't get a refund.
They were fined 6 million not too long ago for baggage handling, mishandling of baggage. 6 million naira not too long ago. So we are going to be doing all that.
So many things too. And the important thing, Mamode, too, is to tell our viewers that this series of programs we are going to be doing, we want to do it with you. If you've gone to the big supermarkets and you find the GMO products, please let us know. If you've been so badly treated by your service providers, let us know. And besides that, tonight you can be part of it if you reach us on our Facebook page or on our WhatsApp number. So let's go straight to business, Mamode.
Yeah, we'll take a short break now, and when we come back,
we'll go to business.
Yes, don't go away.
Nigeria's biggest late night show.
Without him enjoying his 90 days, he did all that within 2 days. Yet, INEC didn't
Okay,
even...
let me ask this question so that it will be
Please.
No, I want this, please.
No,
Let me,
It's not everything that the president goes to everywhere prognosing. In Agatu area you're talking about, the president put up a special presidential panel. How can the executive come and give us the rule that regulates our conduct within the National Assembly? That is interference.
For us to get the real budget as presented by Mr. President with the corrections, go through the budget process, pass it so that things will start moving.
the name of the immediate past president owns a plot on the Metama Hill. Desiani Alice Maduike owns a plot on the Metama Hills. Then companies were also used to cover the faces of some individuals and Nigerians.
And the Attorney General, by virtue of his position, he is the only minister given such immense powers created in the Constitution by Section 150. Now, that kind of person should be careful when exercising those powers.
I am a proud Igbo woman and a proud Nigerian, and I have served this country. I love this country. Come to think of it, I'm not married to an Igbo man. I married a Yoruba Muslim.
I saw Bob Marley bedroom. Many people don't know that. You know, Bob Marley is like Elijah. I'm Elisha. Okay. I have the double portion.
When would the African people come together? O&M Late Show and O&M Sunday Show with Obiora Ilo and Mamudia Koga. Tuesdays, 11 p.m. and on Sunday, 2 p.m.
It's still the O&M Late Show. And so now, of course, we have our guests in the studios. Obiora, I think let's talk to the DG of the National Biosafety Management Agency before we bring on Executive Director of CASA. So we'll welcome now Dr. RUFUS EBEGBA.
Doctor, welcome. Good evening. Good evening.
Doc.
Okay, we set the scene, Doc. You can see on our table. You can see on our table, these are products that, this particular product we got from ShopRite. And we have the receipts for the purchase earlier today. And right here, Mahmoudi.
Yeah, no, it's on the other side.
On the other side.
Clearly stated.
It's clearly stated.
Contains,
it says contains genetically modified organisms. That's the product. It's called Iwisa #1 Super Maize Meal. Okay.
Yeah, this other one is from Sahad stores here in Abuja.
We have a receipt for the purchase.
Produced with genetic engineering. This is canola oil. Yeah. But first, Obiora, let's DG. You came out nationally in October last year to issue an ultimatum to these supermarket chains to tell them to take off GMO, products that had GMO in them from their shelves. First, from your own findings, did they comply?
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be at this studio to talk on these issues. It is very clear that this issue will continue to talk about them. And, the National Biosafety Management Agency has the mandate to ensure that before any genetically modified food or genetically modified organism is released into the environment, the market, there is a permit. That is one responsibility we have. Before we gave that ultimatum, we carried out a survey, and we had cause to believe there are some genetically modified foodstuff in our superstores. And we invited them and drew their attention to it that we have cause to believe And these products, we suspect this, we suspect this, we suspect this. In as much as some of them are labeled, we have taken it upon ourselves to make sure, taken upon ourselves to really verify the claims. Because in our own regulatory system, we are not only just going to base on whether something is labeled. We believe that some of these products, they could be labeled to attract even consumers. So the issue of faking is very, very paramount. And if you fake or you give information that is not right about your product as it relates to genetically modified, it's also an offense. And we made it very clear to the superstores, there are consequences. 5 years imprisonment, or a fine of 2.5 million, or both, for anybody that contravenes this. No, I just want to draw your attention.
You're setting the
the stage for you to understand that we did not just wake up to see we are going to do that.
But right now we have these things here that we bought from Nigerian shops. But before you do, just let's tell them why some of these other ones are here. This is not a GMO product, but this is a product that is in Nigeria. It is not certified by NAFDAC. It's not certified by SON. It's not certified by anybody. And it's on the shelf. The same thing with this very popular Kellogg's cornflakes. There's no NAFDAC certification. There's no SON certification. There's no other certification. And they get into Nigerian market. So you gave that ultimatum. As you can see, they're flouting it.
Yes.
So what have you done?
So listen to me. I was telling you, we invited them and we gave them the ultimatum. Most of them came back and confirmed to us they are withdrawn them. We did not just end by saying that by their own confirmation alone. We sent our staff down to take another survey, moving from shelf to shelf. And we discovered that there were no ones that are labeled genetically modified ingredients. But however, we had cause to also suspect some of the products. And we pick each of the specimens of those products, which we are presently trying to really confirm their status. So the issue of regulation, it is not just for you to go about making allusions without having a proper verification. So the issue of anybody contravening the act, all our directive in that regard, is a violation of the act. And you have drawn our attention to this, and this is what we expect from the members of the public and all organizations that are concerned about issues that relate to our office. Also, let me make it very clear, in as much as we gave that ultimatum, we have not said that genetically modified foods are dangerous. Because one thing is very clear, wherever they are coming from, they were certified safe. Before any genetically modified organism or food is released into the environment, there are international laws that bind such. But however, in Nigeria here, we have to ensure that we have a double check on this, that we will not just bring in any product into this country. Because the issue of genetically modified organism is not necessarily going to come from the international market alone. We expect them to also come from within the Nigerian society. But however, the law must be complied with. You have drawn my attention to this. We shall set the ball rolling to see how we can really move around the game.
So in other words, DG, what you're saying is, at that time when the ultimatum was given, they complied.
They complied.
They complied at that
time.
They
did. They even came and picked forms to formalize their dealings, and which is one of our responsibilities. Yeah.
DG, but you said you sent your people. You continue to send them.
Yeah.
But we're just talking about 2 shops in Abuja. We are talking about Sahad, and we are talking about...
Well, those were the ones we visited.
Today.
Sahad and ShopRite.
ShopRite. Yes. And then you have so many shops in Nigeria. And this is escaping your agency.
See, the issue
I mean, are we safe? Like when you say that internationally, this could be certified. Yeah. But there's no trail of that certification. We don't know where this came from. We don't know who has brought it into the country. So our life's not in danger.
See, all I want to assure Nigerians, the agency will do what it takes to ensure that these products that are not approved by my agency will not be allowed to to persist in the market.
Okay,
What
tell
I'm
us
telling you is that what I'm
graphically
telling you
from between now and tomorrow morning, you have this evidence now.
Yes, I have
what
this evidence.
is your agency going to do in the next 24 hours? Because we're in trouble. And these things are not supposed to be on that shelf.
Let me assure you, there is no trouble as regards that, because it depends on the way you look at it from the point. The agency will be on ground as from tomorrow. You have mentioned some of these stores. We know them. We will go around. And I've said it. We will prosecute whoever violates the act. It is not a child's play. The law must be complied with.
Okay, well, clearly we have some chains that have violated the law, and we have the proof. Like we said, we bought from them, and we have receipts to show that they are selling. They were selling these things. Yes. We went there and bought from them.
Even the ones the samples we collected, we also bought and collected receipts.
Okay, your own agency.
Yes, we did that when we were doing the survey.
All right.
That was why we were able to confront them to ascertain our claim.
Why the debate on GMO is still on, is still raging? Where are we as a nation with GMO today?
See, the debate on GMO will still persist for a very long time. Every new technology is bound to face some resistance. And the issue of GMO, particularly when it involves food, involves human beings, not something that you just keep as an ordinary material. And again, we must understand too, there are issues of trade and politics when it concerns these products. And what we want to know, Nigeria as a country has put in place what it takes to see that this technology is not just trust to Nigerians without safety measures being put in place. Nigeria is not an isolation of international community. Nigerians signed international agreement, the Cartagena Protocol about safety since 2000, and further reaffirmed it in 2003 by ratifying it. That gives us the opportunity to walk beyond the Nigerian border, cross-boundary movement of genetically modified organisms. And this has been domesticated through the National Biosafety Management Agency Act 2015. And we must also understand too, we have about 16 agri-research institutes in this country, universities and other research institutions that will be doing genetic engineering. And this genetic engineering, it is through that process that genetically modified organisms are being produced. So Nigeria has a vast of institutions and experts that are involved in genetic engineering. So it is not just the National Biosafety Management Agency expertise we use alone. We use various experts that are related to this field. And the process of biosafety certification is very rigorous. We have what is called National Biosafety Committee, made up of various experts and even line ministries and agencies. We have the Ministry of Agriculture, even Customs is there. We have the Quarantine Service, you have the NAFDAC, and so on and so forth. So the idea of biosafety is not just the agency sitting down to make conclusions. We have to use various experts to further advise the agency, and we will take the final decision when we are convinced. So Nigerians should be rest assured the agency is still very new, and within the short period it has come into existence. You discover that the issue of genetically modified organisms, they have been on for more than, even before the coming of the agency, for about 18 years. Yeah. Presently, commercialization of genetically modified organisms is about 21 years old now, globally. And these issues were not as loud before the creation of the agency. That's to tell you that the agency is doing what it takes to enlighten the members of the public and also to take the necessary precautions so that Nigerians will be sure of what they are consuming.
What kind of capacity do you have in your agency? You know, it's a young agency.
Yes.
And Nigeria is big.
Yeah.
Do you have enough capacity? And forgive me, do you have enough funding to make your job
nationwide?
Nationwide?
Let me say one thing, funding will never be enough for any organization, even nations. So the issue of funding, government is making making critical efforts to see that the agency is adequately funded. In 2016, we got some funding, and in 2017, we are hoping there will be improvement. Then the issue of capacity. Before the existence of the agency, there were two directors who were heading the National Biosafety Office under the Federal Ministry of Environment. And this unit has been in existence since 1999, when the ministry was created. So, and Throughout those periods, there were some guidelines that were being developed. Staff were being trained. Nigeria was also involved in international biosafety regulatory activities. And currently, we have a national biosafety genetically modified organism detection and analysis lab that can detect, like all this one, say we are going to analyze them, like now we can put them under our various polymerase chain reaction machines and some other machines we have, and be able to detect if they are genetically modified organisms or not. We're able to now analyze them, looking at the conventional crops and the genetically modified to see what are the differences in them. Has the modification changed the gene sequence of that particular organism? Can those changes cause toxins or cause allergy when human beings consume them? And apart from that, we also look at the issue of environmental consequences in the use of genetically modified. Will they become super weeds? Will they become invasive? Will they become to displace the natural ecosystem? We also look at the socioeconomic implications. And I can tell you, the staff of the agency, they have been well trained right within the country and outside the country. It's not that a matter of whether capacity or no capacity. The Nigeria, we have enough capacity to really address issues of genetically modified organisms.
Okay. Now, the impression, when you go into most of the big supermarkets around town is an impression of, a dumping ground for a lot of the products. You travel abroad, like most privileged Nigerians do. And these days, even in the United States of America, where GMOs were embraced, wholeheartedly, you find that when you get into the big supermarket chains now, you see a whole section. They brand it organic. And then, the other side are, you have these, GMO, but nobody says that it's GMO.
Yes,
They just keep quiet about it. But the other section, you see that it's organic. Now, one of the things that's really, really worrisome to me, which of course is also been a major issue abroad, is, a baby formula. It's made from maize. A lot of them are made from maize, from soya. And you know that a lot of that is already genetically modified. And nobody these days bothers to identify that the maize used for this product is genetically modified, except the ones that are organic. Then they identify that these were made from organic maize. So the harmful effect on the baby formula has been very serious abroad. They've talked about it so much. Is your agency even keeping track on that?
You see, the National Biosafety Management Agency Act prescribes compulsory labeling for all genetically modified materials. So anybody that fails to label has also committed an offense. So the issue of the genetically modified foods, it has dual responsibility in regulation. Other agencies are also involved. We have the NAFDAC is also involved. Even the Act prescribes a responsibility for the NAFDAC to certify the food. What we are interested in as a National Biosafety Management Agency is the gene, the insertion that has been put into that organism.
Into the organism. Yeah.
Is the gene, the material that was used to alter that organism. That is what, how it reacts in the organism, how it reacts when human beings consume it, how it reacts in the environment when the organism is alive particularly. Those are the things we look at. So when we look at all those things and we found that there are no risk, that is when we
issue a permit.
If it's genetically modified food, processed food, we still refer to NAFDAC to complete the process. So the chain is made in a way that there's double safety measures that are put in place. And I think the issue of genetically modified organisms, Nigerians should be a little bit patient. It's a very dynamic process. Trade is involved. Socioeconomic concerns are involved. Politics involved. So we are setting the stage, and the stage has already been set. And we have started the process. For us to have come out to say, withdraw these things from the shelf until they are certified safe. We know what we are doing.
How much of politics was involved in the permit you gave
to Monsanto? When I'm talking about politics, we're not talking about Nigerian politics. It's a global
that's what I'm saying.
Politics involved.
How much of the global politics was involved in in
No,
granting Monsanto.
No, there was no politics. What I'm saying is that
to begin
comments being made about GMOs, they are woven with political interests and social interests as much as possible.
So we have to be careful.
We have to be careful. That is why we are saying we will set Nigerian standards. We are not going to see because any country has embraced GMOs and such we must embrace it. We must certify them and be sure of what we are consuming, not because any country has said it is good.
Thank you.
Our interest is to protect the Nigerian people, the Nigerian environment as well.
Thank you, DG.
Thank you.
Of course, we'll follow up on this to
Yeah.
see what you have done.
Yeah.
And as soon as you have results, we'd like to share it with
Yes,
you.
we
And
will
share it
make,
with
we
the rest
will,
of
for
Nigerians.
sure, we will let the public know.
I
what
think
we are
that
doing.
what we can do, we will allow them some time to do their work, and then of course we would want to bring you back to the studio
And
to
visit
tell
the shops
Nigerians.
again.
Let me
Yes,
tell you
but-
one thing.
but
I'm
yes.
always willing to tell Nigerians my own side of this story.
okay.
No,
And
but
mine is the safety
that's a
aspect of
fact.
it. Yeah.
You're always ready to
Yes.
talk when we invite you.
Yes.
Maybe before we let him go, there are some so many messages here. That people are saying, the DG should know. This is from Oladapo from Kuje. The DG should know that he occupied that position to protect the lives of Nigerians. People are observing him. Well, that's from Ladapo.
Ladakbo, I'm here to protect you and other Nigerians.
I am sure, this is from another viewer, I am sure all the big stores in the nation will be guilty of this simply because our laws don't bite. Lack of regular monitoring will always make these stores violate the agency order. So I think
All what Mr. DJ is telling Nigerians boils down to corruption. This is from Okadibo.
There's no corruption related to this.
Well, probably, I think probably what he's trying to say is that after the ultimatum was given, Nigerians didn't hear much anymore. And
let me make it very clear.
Maybe your
let me
agency
very
was
clear.
settled.
Let me tell you, when we invited those super stores, we told them very clearly, don't give our staff any gift. Don't give them refreshment. Don't give them anything. If you do, you are compromising our position, and we take it upon them. It's when people just talk about corruption, they should look at some of these things and be very sure of what.
Well,
they're
that's
saying.
why you're here. At least you're reassuring Nigerians.
Reassuring
I think
Nigerians.
we'll thank DG.
And again, even Nigerian finds suspects any product that is genetically suspect to be genetically modified, feel free to come to our office. We are the National Park Service along Airport Road, and we are always willing to receive anybody. Even when you call me, I will always answer.
Thank you, sir.
All right. All right.
Thank you very much.
There's so much messages coming for you.
Thank you very much. I would have wanted to answer some of the things forwarded to me.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Felix,
for the time to be with us.
You are
All right.
still watching the O&M show.
Yeah.
We're
going to bring in the advocates now.
Yes. Yes.
And of course, Frank TIETIE, Barrister Frank TIETIE.
Yes, is here, so he's joining us right away.
Yes.
TIETIE, welcome.
Welcome. Let's sit.
I'm sure you were listening to us and watching us and the concerns. Well, these are some of the things we saw, and of course you heard the DG react to them. But before now, KESA was already carrying a campaign against consumer abuse in Nigeria. I read some of your releases where you talked about organizations like Consumer Protection Council not doing what they should do, being a little laid back, and Nigerians were being taken advantage of. Can you share with us the position and some of the things you found out over these weeks?
Well, I brought 2 bags of rice. I'm kind of hurry and left them there.
It will come.
I wanted to use that to show the example of how helpless the Nigerian citizen is in this scheme of things in general. The whole idea of business.
Yeah, TIETIE, we have your 2 bags of rice.
Oh yes, thank
so
you very
can
much.
Have them.
Okay.
When we get to the point of talking about them.
Well, they're very important. You can see Mama Gold rice. One of them is big, one of them is smaller.
I think we can turn this one so that Nigeria.
All right.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, and they all bear 5 kg.
5. Okay.
5 kg.
That's
Yes.
5 kg as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Adex, a member of Citizens Advocacy, had gone to a pharmacy shop. Registered pharmacy shop, and he bought this smaller one that written on it is 5 kg. And then his wife told him that, look, this is unusually small. He said, no, a pharmacy shop can't be wrong. So he paid 2,600 naira for this 5 kg bag of rice. And when they left there, they saw another bag of rice of the same product.
They said Mama Gold.
The same 5 kg, looking bigger. And out of curiosity, they bought it for 2,000 naira, less 600 naira, less than the one they bought from the pharmacy shop. And when they measured them, they found out the one they bought from the pharmacy shop in Lube was weighing 3.2 kg. Less, I mean, that is 1.8 kg less than 5 kg. And
so,
to cut the long story short, of course, we were enraged because before that time we had received some kind of, disrespectful treatment from ShopRite particularly. And we were shocked that when we went to ShopRite's website, they didn't provide a number. And that's why we want to commend this show for that call that all Nigerian businesses must have toll-free lines. Now, yes, the importance of that is this. Now, you offer me a bad service. For example, the bank offers me a bad service and asks me to contact it to clarify an online banking problem. Now, that's your problem. It's not mine. So why should I pay for contacting you when there is a system of toll-free lines? And interestingly, the Consumer Protection Council had even directed that they should. So when this show has even mentioned it, has emphasized it, it's going to be one point we're going to take up legally. So when we go back to the ShopRite issue, when we discover that there is this utter disregard for the consumer, if the consumer is mistreated, the consumer is unhappy, he cannot complain to you. And you block, you don't put up an email, as simple as an email, in the ShopRite website you don't have. A phone line, one line.
To reach them.
You don't get. And then they put up a form, a contact form. And when you fill in the contact form, they say, while you are filling the contact form, when you get to the base, they'll tell you that we have so many other products that you can buy. And it ends there.
Okay,
and this is more than 3 weeks now, ShopRite doesn't answer you. And the same complaint is given to CPC. More than 3 weeks now, they don't answer you. So you see the helplessness of the Nigerian consumer.
Well, no, Frank, let's take it slowly. You had an issue with ShopRite. You tried to contact them. No access except you go there physically.
Even if you go physically, they'll tell you to go to Lagos.
Wow.
That's the
and then you went to the Consumer Protection Council here in Abuja and laid a complaint.
Of course, yes.
And no response, up to this time.
Now, that's talking about me, somebody who is trained as a lawyer. Now, imagine what happens to the ordinary, well, I wouldn't say ordinary, because I'm also ordinary. The common Nigerian who doesn't have the privilege of knowing what the laws and the processes are. Now, I walk up to ShopRite, and let me give you a scenario, very briefly. I was in the ShopRite on the 2nd of January, 2017. And then there is the fast track line, and I had just one product. And then the girl said, look, I've closed, but ShopRite closes 9, and I'm here till 7. Attend to me, so I'm not attending to you. You just have to attend to me. This is just a line for one item. Attend to me. So look, the supervisor came and said, look, she has said she won't attend to you, and that settles it. In fact, the supervisor turned to the lady, why are you even answering him? I said, don't answer him again. And the supervisor paid for his own goods and left. Another person paid and left. And then they left me alone. And I shouted, what is the meaning of this? You're treating a Nigerian citizen like this, and I have money to pay you? And then they realized it. But the young lady walked away. The supervisor walked away. But I raised my voice. Fortunately, some lawyers who came to also buy with their wives were there. And then they said, you don't seem to know this man. This man knows his right. You better answer him. He's going to take it up. And then some fellows who were the big boys in the shop came out and said, please, we're sorry. And then I said, no. I am going to make a complaint formally, and I'm going to see how you treat ordinary Nigerians, because I'm going to take it up. Now, I've taken it up with them, and they have defied it. I've even informed the News Agency of Nigeria as a matter of getting a journalist to investigate the process. They defied it. And then I got the Consumer Protection Council to wait it. They could not do it. And then, you see, you must understand something very important. Corporate compromise.
So
corruption.
So the lack of disregard for Nigerian laws does not extend only to the National Biosafety Management Agency that give them an ultimatum to say take off this from your shelves. And but yet today we still bought these GMO products from their shelves. So they don't even respect the National Biosafety Management Agency.
Regulatory agencies. Corporates. Yeah. Whether they are IOCs, international, whether they are international organizations, international conglomerates like ShopRite and the rest of them, or even local big shops, don't have regard for our laws, don't have regard for our people. That's the most annoying thing. Don't have regard for our people. Now, they don't have regard for our laws because it is very easy to bribe the law enforcement agents. That is, it's simple. It was in the public domain. MTN messed up. MTN compromised our national security. We had Boko Haram bombing and killing everybody just because of MTN's dereliction and refusal to obey the directive of NCC. Boko Haram killing people because of MTN's, negligence, criminal negligence, and then MTN is fined.
They were fined, yeah.
MTN is fined, and what happens? MTN bribes one of the most powerful men in government to reduce the fine. Of course, the fine. I said these are matters of fact. These are not matters of opinion.
Okay.
So look at that level. If you can bribe government officials to reduce the fine of MTN that has compromised national security, so ShopRite or any other person can also bribe any enforcement agency.
There was a lot of politics involved
and negotiations
involved in the MTN matter.
Oyebola Amina, the strategic director of MTN, was sacked for offering bribe for Kabakari. What are you talking about? It's easy if we become euphemistic about this thing.
No, wait. You wait.
It's in the public domain.
No, that's fine.
Yes.
But let's not lose sight of one of the reasons we are here.
Yes.
What does the law say about my protection as a consumer in Nigeria?
For example, I
wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you because for me, this looks like a little bit of adulteration and rebagging and all that. There are two issues here.
Yes.
Number one, should a pharmacy sell rice?
Well,
that's number one. Should a pharmacy sell rice according to our laws in Nigeria? Should a pharmacy be in the business of selling rice to people? That's one. Because that may also be why they will not know if a product is adulterated or not, because that's not their area of specialization. They're supposed to sell drugs.
Well, let's think about it in this regard. When you say food and drugs, in the USA it's Food and Drugs Administration, and the most competent professionals that actually man the Food and Drug Administration are the pharmacists, because they should expectedly. The pharmacists, cuts this air of, originality. So if I buy a drug from a pharmacy shop, it is presumed that drug is not fake.
Yes.
So if a pharmacy shop, because what most of them have transformed into now are provision shops, unfortunately, so they make more money from even selling provisions. There is also the presumption that the provision that I buy from a pharmacy shop should be original. Now, in this case, the one from the pharmacy shop is smaller and more expensive. And then you can
looks adulterated.
But interestingly, I personally went to CPC myself to see to it that this was reported and to also follow the process. And I'm raging in CPC because I couldn't just imagine such form of dereliction of duty. And then the official anonymously whispered to me, say, lawyer, you see, these two bags of rice are actually fake. We're aware of them as a result of intelligence that we've gathered. For goodness sake, when did you know that? And how long have you known that you still allow consumers to buy these fake products? You haven't swept them off the market. You haven't gone there. So there is no even there's no that will to go and enforce the law on their part. And I told them.
Okay, TIETIE, it's important again that we tell our viewers that we orally invited CPC to be on this program, and we followed up with a letter, an email, and a couriered letter to their head office in Abuja. We didn't get a reply, and we didn't see anyone. So it doesn't look like we just want to nail them and not give them opportunity. So talk about the laws, how they protect the ordinary Nigerian. Like the CPC, there's some rules and regulations. There's some interest they must protect.
See, interestingly, whereas the government could balance other interests of, corporates in order so that there can be employment generation so that the economy can go on, the CPC is such a biased law in favor of the citizen. Now, take a look at the name, Consumer Protection Council. For example, the Consumer Protection Council, by virtue of watching this program tonight, should go to any of these shops and seize all these products because they are not satisfied. Because one of the Section 3 of the Act particularly demands that all products be certified, and that the council can actually demand that, look, labels and the contents of, origins of whatever products that are consumed in Nigeria are actually, the information are actually provided on the labels or provided to it. Now, well, let us also make the mistake of thinking that they protect consumers as to only products. They also could protect consumers as to services. So one man gets up, he pays the radio station and says, oh, come, you get a scholarship of 2 million. Just register with 50,000. And then 1 million Nigerians register. And then nobody gets paid.
That's why we have the MMM.
No, yes, we have the MMM, and then we have beauty pageants all over the place. But you see, take a look. There's no hold bars here. FRNK, for example, has had a reputation of utter total defiance of our regulatory agencies. And when you meet these agencies like NCA, you see them throw their hands in the air that we are helpless. We can't do anything to this powerful corporate body. A consumer complains that, look, the air condition in this aircraft is not working. And then at their destination in Asaba, they say, look, how dare you raise your voice against us complaining that the air conditions are not working. You are hereby banned from entering FRNK permanently. And nobody comes to his protection. And when citizen advocacy runs to him, I'm talking about the former commissioner, runs to him to say, look, this is about violating your rights, they are victimizing you. He said, no, you better don't go there. Don't kill me. They are powerful people. Now that's how a lawyer and a former commissioner gets afraid of a corporate body. The Nigerian consumers are suffering. They can't even complain. They are afraid. But
the Consumer Protection Council has so much powers. And unrestricted, they can regulate anywhere that consumers are involved. Why would they, for instance, not be up and doing?
Simple. I was walking out of the Consumer Protection Council headquarters the other day, and I picked a few flyers. And behind the flyers, beautifully printed flyers, projecting the work of the council. And what I found there was the prominently printed logos of ShopRite, Konga, Techno, and a few others.
Adverts,
and boldly written there, supported. In a CPC flyer,
so
that is supposed to protect
now CPC flyer is now advertising Konga, advertising ShopRite. So tell me, how can CPC have the courage to now to sanction ShopRite?
But the CPC a commercial entity.
It's not a commercial entity, neither is it an advertising agency. On no basis. You see, that is the kind of compromise.
Should they be supporting the activities?
That is the kind of compromise, and I think I will want to.
That's what they call conflict of interest.
Well, beyond conflict of interest, the reason is this: it is outright corruption. So, in certain considerations, we call it bribery. You may bribe an individual. You can also bribe an agency. Where ShopRite gives money,
accepting support
from an agency or regulator,
from ShopRite to CPC is already...
It's compromised.
Yes, undue influence.
Yes.
Okay, let's allow Nigerians join this conversation because we are running out of time. This is Kenneth from Ibadan. He says, I've always known ShopRite to be a nest of inferior goods. That's what he's saying. I bought a clipper from ShopRite in Ibadan, but when I got home, it didn't work. I had to buy another clipper from a shop on the street because there was no way I could return it. And
this is from Olaiwola. You people are doing a good job, blah, blah, blah. I am a victim of, he's talking about your Mama Gold Rice now. I'm a victim of buying Mama Gold Rice half bag, which is supposed to be 25 kg. But after measuring it, I met 20 kg inside the bag. So he's just supporting what you are saying, that the practice is widespread.
The painful thing is that
we take this, then you can conclude. It says, Mr. TIETIE should help consumers with information on how to sue with unadulterated evidence these companies without reference to regulatory bodies or MDA, because they are not too sure.
Oh yes, oh yes.
It's Richard from Nyanya.
There is a problem with respect to evidence. However, the medical lab scientists will help a lot. For example, if you consume a bottle of a bottled drink and you find that it contains, decaying substances, in it, you just take it to the next medical lab science or whatever laboratory, and then let them do their test and record it, and it becomes evidence. Let the man come to court; it becomes a expert evidence. We are going to witness a floodgate of class actions against so many people. Take, for example, and this is crass, this is wickedness. I ask you, NCC, for example, we examine the case of MTN, the same MTN that compromised our national security. Every day, you receive one text message. 100 naira has been deducted from your account for your subscription to Wisdom Daily. Another, you get another one for so music. The subscriber never did so. And then it will also give extra work to the subscriber and say, look, for you to test
to get it off.
And now, let me tell you, MTN will do that to about 5 million subscribers every day, translated to 500 million naira. So you see, this whole idea of ripping off Nigeria,
and maybe only 100 people will have the strength to unsubscribe.
And then when you go to NCC will say, you did subscribe. For goodness sake, why would I subscribe to how to cook?
Okay, TIETIE, as usual, when it's so exciting, time runs so fast. And we must thank you.
But this is part one of this series.
Of many other parts.
We are declaring, look, citizens are going to take charge. If the government fails, then we will tell them that the country belongs to us. Government is just, it comes to them and it goes. So it is clear that they are compromised. They are undermining the interest of citizens.
Yes.
We will bear the loss of our land, but we will take the processes into
I think that's where we draw the curtain.
We have to draw the curtain.
Like Mahmoud said, this is part one of a long series, but we want you to be part of it. Yes. If you have any evidence, share it with us.
Go to our Facebook page, tell us your story. I will bring it on the show. And if we
investigate it.
Yeah, we investigate it. We'll bring it on the show. But we are going to commence this campaign to ensure that Nigerians get good services and we buy good products from our supermarket chains and stores nationwide. My name is Mahmoud Akuwa. Thank you all so much for watching.
I'm Obiora Ilo. On Sunday, we'll be on with you again.
From AIT Studios in Abuja, Nigeria, this is the O&M Late Show with Obiora Ilo and Mamode Akuga.